Summertime, it gets very busy. As you know, we have baseball games to go to, picnics to go to. I have 2 acres of lawn to mow. I have a garden to hoe. And so it gets real busy. So I have a little nice recipe here that I want to show you. That's a baked salmon that's wrapped in bacon, and it's in a Philadelphia creamy lemon sauce, and it is just spectacular. Let's get started with our recipe. And I have a nice big skillet here that I'm frying up some bacon in. We just want to get it a little bit crispy so it's more pliable and easy to work with. And this is a maple bacon, and this is really good stuff. It's going to add a little bit of sugar to our flavoring in our salmon. And this is only going to take maybe about 2-3 minutes. Whew, it smells good. Whew, look at that bacon. This is really good stuff. I've actually got an extra piece of bacon in here just in case I want to eat one. Has some consistency here, and it's setting up real good, and we're going to take it on over. There we go. The salmon here in a glass baking dish, and this is a wild-caught salmon, and I like to use that because it doesn't have any preservatives in it or flavorings. And matter of fact, I do have a sazoned as a flavoring here. It's a little pack of sazoned. It's a seasoned salt. So we're going to add a little bit of that first. Get that out of the way. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take bacon out of our pan, which I have right here. Look at that. Woo, luscious and yummy bacon. And we're going to wrap that around our salmon. And you want to wrap it lengthwise, as you can see here. And it doesn't always go all the way around. Now I think this one's going to make it. So we're going to wrap that around there, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to take our little skewer right here, and we're just going to put it in the center of our bacon and just run it through there, and there we are. Now you got to be careful because our bacon's still hot, but I like it hot with. My meal's for 3 people, and I do actually have an extra piece of bacon here that we're going to maybe just add in later for good measure. This is going to add a lot of flavor, and it's going to keep the moisture in our salmon so that it doesn't get dry. Of course, we are going to be adding some soy sauce and other things along here too to flavor it, but the bacon is what really makes this recipe. There we go. Now we have all 3 of those done, and next what we're going to do is we're going to shave up about a ½ teaspoon of our ginger here. And this is fresh ginger. You can actually, when you finish up with it, you can just throw it in your freezer, and it works out really well. You won't have to go shopping. You'll just pull it out of your freezer. There we are. Ooh, that has so much flavor. Smells really yummy. And I need my garlic press here. I have my garlic press here, and we're going to take it and put our garlic cloves in this little garlic press. Now you don't always have to do it this way. You can actually put them in some oil and and pop them in the oven for 15 minutes, but I'm just going to do it this way today. There we are. 2. And this is fresh garlic, and I think that 2 cloves is going to be fine, so we'll just stick with 2. Now what we're going to do is add our soy sauce. And when you're making this, you just want to have each ingredient, your soy sauce and your water, to be equal. So I have a ½ cup of that on. Looks good. And then next we're going to add a ½ cup of our soy sauce. And I tend to measure that out. What we're doing here is we're going to dilute down the salt that's in our soy sauce a little bit. So there we have it. Half soy sauce and half water. Looks good. Okay, there we are. We're all set with that. We are taking and putting these into a preheated oven, which is at 400 degrees, and I'm going to put this on for 25 minutes, and then we'll check back, and you can see how lovely that is right now. Beautiful. So have some red potatoes here on the stove that I'm also going to have accompany my meal. And you'll have to excuse me for a moment. I just need to wash my hands because I've been working with meat, and when you work with raw meat, you always want to get your hands washed before you work. There we are. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get started with our sauce. And this is our Philadelphia cream cheese lemony sauce that I was talking about. Hold on. Now the first thing we're going to do is take about a tablespoon of butter and put that in our saucepan that's on a low heat. And we're just going to let that melt in. And one of the reasons you want to add in your butter before your cream cheese is if you add the cream cheese in first, it's going to stick to the pan, and that's not going to be good. It may even burn, so make sure you go with your butter first. And that's rich and creamy butter, as you can see here in the pan. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and add our Philadelphia cream cheese, and I have 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese in chunks here, and that's been sitting out for maybe 15-20 minutes. And if you don't have time to let it sit out, then just pop it in your microwave for between 10 and 15 seconds. And now we're going to put that in there, and this Philadelphia cream cheese is really sauce pop. It gives it so much flavor and goodness, and we're going to go ahead and just stir this until it's nice and creamy and it is ready for our next ingredients. That'll take a few minutes. Now this sauce is so good, I could almost eat it by itself. But since we have to have enough for our recipe and the salmon, I won't be able to do that. I'll have to make extra next time I think about it. This is coming together pretty well. Look how rich and creamy that is. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add about 1/4 cup of milk in here, and we still always have our temperature on low. You don't want to put it past low, or you're probably going to scald your Philadelphia cream cheese and also your milk. So just remember to keep that on a low heat while you're working here. Now this is it. We'll be able to pour this right over our salmon without a problem. Now we're going to add half the juice of a lemon. And I'm using my little grapefruit spoon. It works real good. It has on there and it helps get the juice out, and you can squish back your seeds. There we go. It's about a tablespoon. Stir again. Get all that zesty flavor of that lemon going in there. And then we are going to add a few snips of our chives, and these are from my garden. And I have some little kitchen shears here, and we're just going to snip those in. A little bit of color to it and just a tad bit of onion flavor. And now we're going to try this, and hopefully it's not too hot. Very nice. I like it. Perfect. Alright, we've got 2 minutes until this is done, and I'm really hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and check it out here. Looks good. Now the way that you can tell that it's done is from when it becomes opaque. In here, you see those little pieces? That's the fat from the fish. And we can tell that's done. I have my broccoli that I'm going to pull out of here also. But we are. And then we'll just go ahead and go over here and add the final toppings. Okay. I'm just going to have the outside of your dish nice and clean. Top it off with lemon and a piece of parsley on top. And also with the potatoes, we'll add parsley on there. And that does look delicious. Look at that. What more could you want? And don't tell anyone, but I'm going to try this right now before everybody comes in here. Piece of that bacon out of there. And also, make sure you take it off the skewer before you eat it. You don't want to lose any teeth. It's fabulous. The best part, I think, is the maple bacon and the Philadelphia cream cheese. And even if you don't like salmon, you have got to try this because it is off the hook.